Hello folks, my name is Mark. This is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? So I made a video about fat shaming and fat acceptance and talked a little bit about how I've been dieting and stuff. And I thought I'd do another little quick video on that to kind of show, to tell you what I've been doing, because I actually have managed to lose about, 20 pounds in, maybe a little over 20 pounds in the last, since, when did I start this? I started in November of 2014, so that's 7 months, right? Which is not too bad. Like I said before, my fiance lost 50 pounds, right? Of course, she's been doing it since like, last April or whatever. So she lost a shitload, right? She looks fucking fantastic. Okay. She dropped like 5 dress sizes. It's fucking crazy. Right. She's all totally skinny now. So anyway, I haven't hit that point yet. I still weigh a roughly 200 pounds, and I want to get down to like 180, I guess would probably be good for my age and height. So, just kind of want to, do a video about how I did it, because, I understand how it is to be, fat. All right, because I've been fat my whole fucking life. All right, I understand what it's like. Okay, you feel like you feel like it isn't fair, right? You feel like you don't know why it's happened. People make fun of you, right? People of the opposite sex, don't pay you any attention, right? I can't tell you how many times I went out with friends and all my friends would hook up and I wouldn't. All right, that shit happened all the time. Or I'd meet a girl that I really liked and she would only kind of like me or whatever, and you're great as a friend or whatever, then she'd date one of my friends, and not me, and shit like that happened all the time. Okay, and it's because because you're fat, right? And it's fucking, I don't know. So that's just like, I know exactly how it feels. I feel you get humiliated, right? People make fun of you, calling you names, stuff like that. You go to gym class or whatever when you're fucking 15 and you can't even do one pull-up, right? Everybody else is doing like 10, 15, 20. Like, I managed to do, when I was 17, I did one pull-up. It was the best day of my life. I was just like, yes, pull up, wow, right? Anyway, and this is what happens. So then you get, depressed, right? And you think everything sucks. And so what ends up happening is that you just say, fuck it. And you don't even care. So you don't even try to lose weight because you figure, well, fuck it, I'm never going to fucking lose it anyway. So I might as well just enjoy myself. So then you go out and you eat, fucking an entire pizza all by yourself. Or you eat a whole fucking bag of Oreo cookies or something. And, then you just get fatter, and then you just get more depressed, and then it just goes on and on and on in this vicious fucking cycle, and, and nothing ever changes, right? And this is what I did. Okay, first off, thing that you need is positive reinforcement, all right? And I'm guilty of this too. It's just like, it's a lifestyle change, right? You need to change the way you live if you want to, get healthy and lose weight or whatever, right? It's just like, you need positive reinforcement. So, kind of like if you're going to quit smoking, right? And if you, try to quit smoking, but all your friends smoke and they make fun of you for not smoking, then you're just going to pick it back up again, right? In fact, I'm actually guilty of that. I had a friend once who tried to quit smoking, and I used to smoke, and I started fucking with him, and he didn't quit, and now I feel really bad about that, but, that was like a decade ago. But anyway, so what you need is, you need to basically have support from people, right? And you need to make a decision that you're going to do it, and you need to make a plan, and you need to stick to the plan, no matter what. So what I did is that we joined a gym, right, me and my fiance, and we started going, 2 or 3 times a week, right? And I actually lost a little bit of weight there, but I was still eating my normal, what I used to just eat, right? And it plateaued, so I lost like 5 pounds, right? And I was like, oh, this is great, but still, not very much, right? Then we started dieting on top of that, and that's how it really started just falling off, right? And the thing is that we're doing it together. So what I'm doing is that I'm not, because, you know, like, there's all these fad diets and shit, you know, there's the fucking drink a shitload of water diet, and the, you know, eat only fucking, you know, beef diet, you know, what was it, the Atkins diet, shit like that, right? I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm, basically counting calories, right? So there's an app that I'm using, called Lose It, right, which is just loseit.com. They're not paying me for this, but, you know, anyway, but their app is actually really good. I've been using it, you know, for the last 7 months. But there's lots of other calorie counting apps out there, and you just have to pay attention to what it is you eat. So the first thing is that you put in, you know, this app that I use will do it for you. You put in your weight and your age and how tall you are and how much you would like to lose per week, and it tells you how many calories you should eat. And so then it'll lay it out for you every day. You have 2,200 calories, and if you eat that every day, you'll lose this much per week, you know, or whatever, right? And it's actually a lot less for women. Like, my fiance is down to like fucking 1,400 a day and shit. I don't know how the fuck she does it, but you know, I still hover at roughly, you know, 20 or 2,000 calories a day. In fact, most of the time I come in under that. I try to keep it at, you know, a few hundred underneath, right? So anyway, you just basically lay out what you're going to eat and you stick to it, right? And you'll start seeing, like, once you start counting and paying attention, right, you'll start seeing how much you can, like, take every day, you know, how much you're allowed to eat. You'll start getting used to it, number one. So you'll see things like, you know, because a lot of the stuff that you go and you'll buy at a store won't have, like, the calories on it, you know, like, or if you go to a restaurant, for example, and you get, like, a sandwich, you won't know how many calories are in the sandwich. But you'll start kind of getting a good estimate going. It's like, all right, well, this has about roughly 5 ounces of meat, and it's got bread, which is usually this much, you know. And it comes to, so you can make an estimate. Go, oh, this sandwich is probably 500 calories or whatever, so I should probably not get the fries. I'll get the coleslaw instead, or whatever, right? So that really helps. Secondly, you'll start going to the store, and you'll start looking at the fucking back of the package, right? And you'll see, you know, stuff that you used to eat was like fucking incredibly bad for you. Like, for instance, you know, I used to go to Trader Joe's, and they had these dried mangoes, right? And I'm like, oh, it's fucking mangoes. That's good for you. That's like fruit, right? And those things are like, so the whole thing will be like, you know, it'll say 160 calories, right? And then it'll say servings per container, 5, right? And I used to eat one of those a day, okay? And it's sort of like, you know, you start seeing shit like that. Like, oh, these potato chips, you know, they're only 100 calories, and then servings per container, 16. And if you eat the entire fucking bag like you used to, then, you know, holy shit, that's bad for you. Or another example is I used to get these cookies, right? At my job, there's a cafeteria, and then there used to be these, like, vegan cookies, which I'm actually not a vegan, but, you know, I figured at the time, I was like, oh, fuck it, vegan, that's good for you, right? You know, it's got to be healthy, right? And then you look at it, and they're like 600 calories each for these fucking cookies, right? And it's like, well, fuck, dude, you know? Or things like that. Like, I used to eat way too much, you know, or I used to go to this one restaurant that had this burrito that was like this massive fucking burrito, and I did the math on it, and it came to like 1,400 calories or something ridiculous. And like, I used to eat there like every other day, right? I would do shit like that. I would eat, you know, I used to eat meals and then go out with friends and eat another meal, right? Back in the day, I used to work at a Starbucks, and you only get half an hour for lunch. And so the only place that I could get food and eat it within half an hour was Taco Bell. So I ate at Taco Bell every fucking day for like 5 years. I mean, shit like that, you know, you start realizing that the stuff that you did before was incredibly unhealthy for you, right? And you're like, fuck, man, I wish I would have known this, you know, 15 years ago, right? So anyway, but another reason why people, though, so that's the first thing. First thing is that you don't know what you're eating is like, you know, bad for you. You don't know how bad it is for you. That's the first thing. The second thing is that healthy food is expensive, right? Junk food is cheap. Okay, and that's another reason why a lot of people out there are fat. All right, because going to the store and buying vegetables and like lean beef and like ingredients and cooking it yourself takes a lot of time and it's expensive. Go to a fucking Ralph's or something, buy 5 items, the shit comes to $30. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? By contrast, going to fucking Little Caesars and getting 2 pizzas for $20, right? Or whatever, that's fucking cheap as hell. Okay? It's like, there's no comparison. It's junk food and fast food is really inexpensive. A lot of people out there don't make a lot of money, so they eat what they can afford and they gain weight because it's also very high in calories, because shit that's high in calories and salt and all that actually tastes really good. And fast food is all about making shit taste good and, selling a lot of it and not what's good for you. So that's another reason, and that's kind of been, that wasn't really the hardest thing for me, was getting rid of the junk food. I already didn't drink soda. Like, I stopped drinking soda a decade ago, back when I used to weigh 230, and after I stopped drinking soda, I just dropped 10 pounds like that. Soda, I never really drink soda. I always drink water or iced tea or something. But like I was saying, this stuff, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, especially when that's your lifestyle, right? And when and it's like your lifestyle, eating junk food and stuff like that. And also, a lot of people take a lot of comfort in the food that they eat. They like going to a certain restaurant and getting the same thing all the time. Stuff like that. They like chocolate, they like fucking hamburgers, whatever. It feels good to them. They might be depressed because of XYZ, because they're too fat or whatever, and then they go to a restaurant and then they get a meal and it makes them feel better. It releases endorphins or whatever. And that's the hardest part there, is getting out of the comfort zone, I think, right? The hardest part is deciding, okay, I'm not going to get the potato chips. Instead I'll get these crackers, which are half the calories. Or I'm not gonna get the fucking salty ass guacamole dip, and I'll get this hummus instead, or whatever. Stuff like that, or going like, I can't eat at this restaurant, because it's too fucking, or I can't eat pizza. Like, another thing that happens is, like, I'll be at like my job, right, and they'll fucking get pizza for the whole office, right, and I'll just be like, fuck. Because pizza is like 400 calories a slice and shit. So, anyway, that's my fiance calling. I don't know if you can hear that. Should wrap this up. So what you need to do, basically, is you gotta stick with it. Stick with it. You gotta change your lifestyle, right? And you'll start seeing the pounds coming off, right? And once you start getting some positive results, get a scale, weigh yourself every day. Once you start seeing some results, right, then you just get encouraged even more, right? And the best feeling ever is going to a store and buying a smaller pair of pants, okay? That is like the best feeling of all time. When you close your belt and you go, holy shit, I can go into the next fucking belt hole, that's an incredible feeling. When you go to work and somebody that you haven't seen in a while walks by and goes, holy crap, you lost fucking all this weight, you look great. That's the best fucking feeling ever, right? So you just got to hang in there, and I encourage everybody out there that's, overweight and depressed about it to not give up. Don't give into it, because you can do it. It's takes a lot of effort, okay? But you just gotta, you gotta stick with it and do it. It's a lifestyle. Change the way you live, right? Change it for the better, and and you'll accomplish. Set a goal and you'll accomplish it. So. Adios, folks.